Hey everyone, welcome to another Good e-Reader review video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Today we are pleased to give you the worldwide exclusive on the new Bookeen Cybook Ocean. This e-reader has been a long time coming, and we're really excited to give you a sense on all the specs, show you how the reading experience is, and to give you the pros and cons of this device. First of all, it's an 8-inch screen, so it's a non-conventional screen that provides ample real estate for PDF files, manga, ebooks, and all that jazz. Resolution 1024 by 768, so it has the same resolution as your standard 6-inch e-reader. The DPI is 160. It has an 800 megahertz single core processor and 128 MB of RAM, which is fairly lackluster, and we'll show you the limitations of this RAM as this e-reader review continues. There's 4 gigs of internal memory, but you can expand that. And let's go in for a 360 to give you a sense of the hardware aesthetics.
The e-reader looks awesome. It's nicely chiseled. You have this cut off edge, flush screen and bezel. You can see that with the light splashing.
Yeah, so it's like the Kindle Voyage,
right?
The Kobo Aura.
The back, just it shows everything. You touch another device to it, it shows this scratch. It's not really a scratch. You wipe it off. You touch the back, there's fingerprints instantaneously. It's not the cool kind of hard rubber that Amazon gives you. It's a very thin plastic. The reveal for the SD card is very strange. You have to almost break the unit. Like,
it feels like you're breaking
I can't even open it. Like, yeah, so you have to rip this plastic off, and it's super brittle, so be careful in order to reveal, and it catches too, so in order to reveal the SD card.
And
right
it
there.
supports up to 32 gigs.
Right. Alright, I'm gonna leave that off. So on the bottom you have a micro USB port for transferring data to and from your device and charging it. Power button. All sides are nice and clear, and as I showed you on the back, you have a nice chiseled design feature. So it definitely is a good looking e-reader.
This is the main UI of the Cybook Ocean. It's fairly bare bones. Tells you the last book that you open and how far you are along in reading the book. You have your library and ebook store. Let's click on the ebook store just to give you a sense on what the experience is like. Not only do you have to register an account with Bookeen, but you also have to register an account for Adobe for digital editions. So anything that you purchase from the Bookeen store, you can transfer to, say, your Kobo or to your Barnes & Noble Nook or any other EPUB enabled device. Free, €5 or less. It is a European bookstore, so all prices will be in euros. Just give you a sense on what free ebooks looks like. So this is what the store looks like, and then give you a sense on how it looks here. If you click home, it just goes to the home of the bookstore. If you want to truly go home, you got to click on sort of the soft key built into the bezel, home button, and then click home. So having 2 different home buttons is a bit confusing, I think, to users.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the ebook experience.
I'm going to choose a public domain preloaded book. So we have some stuff like page turns. We have long presses. Long presses are not the conventional long press you'll find anywhere else. It automatically takes you out of what you're doing and sends you into the dictionary. Just opens the dictionary. And it's inconvenient because if you want to make a highlight, you can't. You can't store it because all it does is take you and tries to translate it.
But speaking of such, this e-reader has a lot of dictionaries.
A lot of dictionaries. 20 plus languages just in the user manual.
Yeah.
So to get any sort of functionality, you tap the middle. And once again, it takes you out of everything. And then here you get go to table of contents, annotations. Go to annotation settings. Then you can add a highlight or add a note. Then you select what you want to highlight. Not intuitive at all.
Yeah, it's basically
not.
going to jumping through 3 different hoops just to get there.
Way too many. So we're gonna go to here again, and we're see. That didn't even really explain that it would end up here. I'm seasoned. So I'm gonna add a note, and we'll show you the keyboard. The keyboard is very unresponsive.
Yeah, not only is the keyboard unresponsive, but the one thing that makes it almost impossible is a lot of the times when you're clicking on the back button, it'll just delete.
Right.
You actually have to click delete per character.
Yeah, one by one. And there is tons of ghosting going on all the time.
Yeah. It took us about 40 minutes to register a Bookeen account, connect up to our Wi-Fi, and then create a new Adobe account with all the typing, all the capital, lowercase letters, alphanumeric signs, and then making a mistake, having to delete a specific character.
Yeah.
It's typing and deleting. I think the entire keyboard system is probably the weakest point of the Cybook Ocean.
You have all these ways to change text, as you just saw there. Very straightforward. You can choose bold, hyphenations, font families, etc. The very good benefit of this is that look how much text you can fit on the screen.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
You could either hit these page turn keys like this, so if you're commuting, you could hold this with one hand and just tap it, which is very good, or you could just take advantage of like the touch screen itself.
Absolutely.
When you click on layout, there's actually an option here to turn white text and a black page. So it's like the equivalent of nighttime reading mode that you would see on a lot of tablet apps. The one drawback with this is that once you start churning a number of pages, you'll notice a lot of ghosting in the background.
And it flashes every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay black. So here's a PDF. We can pinch and zoom, which is really nice. You get a mini map on the top corner, so you can go to a body of text and let go. And once it figures out what to do, there you are. You'll notice that there are no long presses. If you tap in the middle of the screen, you get lots of options here. Reflow text, crop margins, rotation, zoom levels. Zoom levels aren't too important because you do have that pinch and zoom capability. You do have fit to page, height, and width. Of course, you can pause the video if you want to read any of these. Go to is a quick navigation at the bottom bar where you can navigate wherever you want to go.
Yeah, to a specific page.
Right.
And that's useful for like textbooks, cookbooks, things like that.
I think the PDF experience is a lot better because it fits a lot on the page. You get pinch and zoom, you get a small mini map to know where you're going, and everything doesn't render as quick as, say, a Kindle would, but once it gets there, the resolution's not too bad.
Yeah, and unlike a Kindle that's a 6-inch screen, this is an 8-inch screen. So that's 2 extra inches of images, of being able to fit more pages like on a document.
Right. So you do have highlights, but as you saw, I had to do 4 separate things to get to the highlight menu. And then it's still doing things even after I've stopped talking, and now it didn't save the highlight. So we hope there will be lots of firmware updates for this unit because it definitely has potential. Oh, there's the highlight now.
Okay, great. So we showed you an ebook and a PDF. Let's take a look at a manga because on the box, the Cybook Ocean box, it kind of really hypes the fact that this is great for manga.
Yep. So here's a Dragon Ball manga, and looks like we have to zoom out full before we can turn a page. There we go. So very similar to PDFs, you can pinch and zoom with a mini map. There won't be any reflowing or anything because unlike with mangas, the text is embedded within the photo, so you can't really strip away, everything around just those pieces of text, so it'll just be the whole page like you see here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of manga that is like an EPUB or FB2 or Deja and stuff like that. Most of the manga that you're gonna find is either a PDF file or it's gonna be being able to be read online.
Right.
And that brings me to the next point, that this e-reader does not have a web browser.
No.
It says that it has a WebKit browser, but I think it was only utilized to access the ebook store.
Yes.
And there's no way to really kind of trick it by going to the ebook store and then
Yeah.
trying to go to another
Type in a
page.
URL.
Yeah, I mean, it worked like that on
The Nook.
some of the Nook devices, where you can kind of go to the store and trick it to be able to go to other websites. You can't go online with this, so there's no web browser. You can't check your email. You can't go to Facebook. You can't do anything.
No.
So here we can establish our available dictionaries. So there's only a few that are on the device.
It's not clear what's going on there.
Yeah.
You have a couple up and down arrows and some check boxes, but it doesn't really tell you what exactly is happening.
You could load photos and do a slideshow.
That's cool for demonstrations.
Yeah.
I like that.
You could do firmware updates to try to pull firmware updates, but we found that there was none available. Also, page refresh every 5 pages, every page, every 10 pages, no refresh.
We recommend refreshes. There is a adequate amount of ghosting going on.
Yeah, I would probably do it every 5 pages, which is the default. All in all, you know, I've been looking forward to this e-reader since they first announced it in around October of 2013.
Right.
I kind of feel like if they would have released it in 2013, it would have been more relevant than it is now.
Absolutely.
I don't like the point of, in order to put the SD card in, we got to peel the back off.
Right.
And we saw how much trouble you struggled with
Yes.
it. We've done it like about 5 or 6 times off camera today.
Right.
The keyboard is weak. Hitting the delete key is weak. I find that the entire ebook experience, once you open up an ebook, it's fine if you're just
Right.
turning pages, but if you're changing the sizes of
try
the
to do
text,
anything else.
notes,
Yeah.
annotations, highlights, all that is it's trial and tribulation. What I do like, giant 8-inch screen,
Yes.
a lot of screen real estate. It's not exactly the 9.7-inch e-readers of
Yeah.
old, like the Curus XL,
Yeah.
the Kindle DX, the Onyx, M95, the
there you go.
M92. It's not that big, but I find that it's like the perfect size to put in your pocket, put in your bag, and go. Incidentally, to show you how big it is, this is the Cybook Muse, which is your standard 6-inch e-reader. And then here is the quintessential smartphone. So you can see how giant it actually is. You heard our thoughts. Let's hear yours. Drop a comment on this video in the comment section below, and Peter or myself will endeavor to respond to each and every one of your question concerns. If you have any ideas for future videos with this or any other e-reader, also drop a comment. We tend to meet every question and concern or future video ideas that you guys have. So for a review of the Bookeen Cybook Ocean, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.